In this video, which is part 8 of how to create a custom candlestick chart in Chart.js series, we're going to work on the icons in the item here or in the tooltip. Look at the tooltip and you might see here the arrow pointing down and here an arrow pointing up, which is correct because this is a green chart or green item here. There's another green one, and if it's red, it points down. So let's start to look how we can use Font Awesome for those icons and make them show the right icon accordingly. So let's look what we need to do here. Well, if you want to adjust the part where we can show at least an icon with Font Awesome, we need to have the icon here and just some text, but it needs to be just between the date and above, or basically below the date and above this area here, which is basically the body or the body before. So luckily there's a special command for that as well. So let's start to look at how we can do this. We're going to scroll down here, and basically what I want to do here is indicating here, let's see, where is it? One more down in the tooltip area. Here we have the body before, but there's so many other commands that we can use. In this case, what I want to do is I want to do here after the title. The title is basically the June 1, 2022. So just after that and before the body itself, we can put in something else. So just we will squeeze that between there. So we're going to say after title, and after the title, we're going to say again CTX. Then what we want to do here with a comma, put that in there. And what we want to do here is put in a new text. So if I can say here, icon, save, refresh. So you can see here now the icon is recognized. And maybe what we want to do here, for example, if this would be a stock name, we could say here, icon, let's make this just an X for now. And then we can put in here, Chart.js or something like that. That's the stock name, for example. So we have like that, that looks quite nice, but what we need to do is we need to now put in the icon. For that, I'm going to use Font Awesome. So I'm going to go to the CDN.js website here and just get the Font Awesome. I'm not going to use version 6. For some reason, version 6 will not work in the method we have. Maybe version 5 works. I'm not sure about that. It's supposed to work because the structure is same, but maybe I'm missing out something there, or there are multiple references that I don't see. So what I'm going to do is, just to make it easy, we're going to use 4.7, which is the one that does work very nicely. And basically this should work on every other item as long as you follow the same methodology. So I'm going to grab this here, I'm going to copy this one here, scroll all the way up and insert this. And let's put it here just after the, or just before the head here. There we are. Or I guess I already had that, sorry, I forgot to remove it. But anyway, this is the Font Awesome version 4.7. So if I save that here, of course, still nothing happens. So what I can do now is if I scroll down, and I realize I need to open up the Font Awesome website. So let me open that first. So I have opened up here the Font Awesome website, and what I want to do here is I want to select an arrow. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get two specific arrow icons, the arrow down and arrow up. So if I click on this arrow down, what will happen? You will find here the Unicode, and this Unicode will become very, very important. I'm going to grab this Unicode, and just going to just store it somewhere proper. We can just do it here. What I'm going to do is just comment this out. That's the Unicode for arrow down. And then what I want to do is I want to go back here and get the arrow up icon as well. And that is also a Unicode F062. Alright, so now we have these here, and it's arrow up. What I want to do here is for the item to return if something is up or down. But let me just show you first how do we do this. So if we're going to grab this here, I'm going to put that in there. You might say, alright, so this should probably work. In a canvas, we always need to use, if we do a Unicode, we need to have 6 digits. So this here are 6 characters. Right now we only have 4. So what we need to have here is a backslash and then U for Unicode. This is the code that we need to use, and it's considered a string variable, so it's in quotations here. But if I do this and save this, and then I go here and refresh, you will notice we get this weird square box there. Why is this happening? Well, it indicates we see an icon here, but we cannot recognize what this icon is. Why? We don't recognize the font family type Well, you might say, well, hold on, didn't we just add up the CSS? Yes. However, in the canvas, we need to specify specifically which CSS we're going to use. So I'm going to show you here now, which font family we're going to use. And now we're using here a font family that it doesn't recognize the character. This is why it happens as it is. So what I'm going to do here is, we're going to now activate that specific font family. I'm going to say a chart with capital C. This is a default option. I'm going to say a default with an S dot font dot family. Here we're going to say equal, and what I want to do here is I want to add up the standard font families including the font awesome family. So first of all, let's put in the standards that are by default in there, but because we have used this here now, the defaults, we're going to override it. So to avoid the overriding everything, we're just going to put in the I guess that's the 4 standard characters, which is the Helvetica, and that's in a string value, but not everything. So this one here as well, Helvetica Noi, which is also in a string value. Next one is Arial in string value, and the next one is sans serif, which is in no quotation marks. It's not a string. It's a CSS variable. By default, it recognizes it. Probably the website or the browser already recognizes it as a default variable, while these are just added, maybe at the future, or in the development of internet, they added these additional fonts step by step. So now is the question, how do we get the right font family here? How do we figure that one out? Well, basically we can just copy this here. No, sorry, not that one. I need to grab here this item here. I'm going to copy this, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it in here. Put it in here, press enter, and what will happen is you will see here all the information, and including the font family in the CSS file, which is font awesome with quotation marks. So I'm going to copy the font awesome, including the capitalized A, so make sure it's all identical. Put a comma here, quotation, put it in here. Once we did that, double quotation at the beginning and double quotation at the very end. So basically these are quotation marks, but this is not an array, it's just a string value. For some reason it works like that. Save this, then go back here, refresh, and there we are. Now you can see the icon. What I want to do now is make the icon intelligent. We're going pointing up or down depending on the bar color. Scroll down here all at the bottom. There we are. What we're going to do here is very simple. We're going to create an if statement. This if statement will just compare similar to this. Since we have here the same structure, we can use this. I'm going to grab this one here. I'm going to say we're going to compare the open with the close value. So you see, if the open value is smaller or equal, is smaller than the close value, if that is the case, what I want to do is I want to show arrow. If this one is smaller, then we show arrow up. So what I can do here, I'm just going to copy this here. Copy this, return, and this is arrow up. If the open is smaller than the close, then that is. And I guess maybe we could say if its open is smaller or equal to close. Yeah, so it's always green. This is considered a green value. And then else, what I'm going to do here, return. And I'm going to remove this X here. This is supposed to be the icon item. Here, 63. And then here, what I'm doing here, remember, the Unicode needs to be placed in there. Comment out this, save this, now refresh. Let's look at it. We're now pointing down, pointing up, pointing up, pointing down, pointing up, pointing up. Beautiful. So now we have done this, and I guess what we can do now is to fine-tune the simple moving average, and then after that we can probably add up different type of lines as well. So that will be in the next video. We're going to fine-tune that, work on that. I hope eventually to find a way. So you might say, well, why can't we put in a color here? It doesn't work that easy in the canvas if we are using the same structure, because these items are not really allowed to be colored quite well. So that's the only struggle. I will look if I can find a solution for that. Then we're going to put the color in the arrow, green or red as well, once I figure that out. But so far I don't have any solution for that. So next video we're going to fine tune our simple moving average, and start to work on having a larger data to work with.